So this is a video about dealing with depression and the tendency to wish to unalive yourself, right? And I'm using this way of expression so that the AI overlords don't ban me, right? Of course, depression is always increasing. It is always multiplying. Sadness, even emptiness, is so profuse everywhere, especially in the young, from the teenage years and to the 20s and 30s and even 40s. Young people, and I've been there. And despite all of the campaigns and all of the tries to stop it or suppress it or find a cure for it or mitigate it, still a lot of young people today, they are still depressed, still unfulfilled, and I guess at least think about unaliving themselves. And of course, some even do, and it is becoming, I don't want to call it a serious situation because it has always been a serious situation, but now it seems that it's slowly bubbling to the peak, to the pinnacle where, younger and younger people get depressed, get sad, they're lost, and this keeps on persisting and lasting, till the end of their lives, if they don't unalive themselves. And I'm talking about people in their 20s and in their 30s and in their 40s. They're still depressed, and I would know. Okay? This is what happens. And, most people still don't seem to think that this is a serious issue, or they simply don't care, or even they are not aware of how chronic it has become, right? And I guess this video is meant to, I don't know if it will help anybody, but still, young people. I guess this video is for young people because I think this is a real problem and why this is happening. This is why it happened to me when I was younger, from, I guess, 12 onward. I didn't have anybody to talk to about these topics. I didn't have anybody to express what I was going through, and it seemed that most people just didn't want to hear about it. Being busy and all of that. And I'm talking about family, friends, whatever, right? And also, I didn't have an older, guardian or role model or example to take me to the side, pat my shoulder and tell me over a beer or whatever that, we all go through this. It is what it is. It's part of being human. It's part of being alive. Somebody to tell me, I've been through this. I had my moments of despair and agony, and, it will pass. It should pass. You will get better. Life is not all about the dark and the gloom, right? I didn't have this type of person to give me this talking to, right? And I guess this is a major factor in today's society where young people in general They don't have role models and proper examples to, I don't know, to look up to. There aren't, with few exceptions. I certainly didn't have anybody, and maybe you don't. Okay, and I'm trying to tell you, it sucks. You're in a bad situation. Everybody should have somebody to talk about these things that are extremely serious, that could have terrible consequences. But it is what it is. You have to deal with it. And the reason I guess I'm making this video is to be, not your role model or anything, but maybe this is exactly what you need to hear, that somebody understands that I went through this, and I understand. I've been in your position, right? I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. Nobody told me anything. This is exactly what happened to me. Nobody told me anything about anything. I had to learn everything about life by myself, and sometimes it happened too late. Too late. Okay? Being young and being alone and being misunderstood, maybe you're a loner, maybe you're awkward, maybe something has happened where, you just don't vibe with people. It is what it is. Some of us are born this way, introverts and what have you, and it is what it is. I'm here to tell you that is not a problem. You're not suffering from an illness, you're not different, and you're not less than anybody else, right? But back to depression. Like, for example, in the last 2 years of a high school, I was in a bad mindset, in a bad position. I wasn't feeling too positive. For various reasons, when you're young, you might misconstrue certain things to be more significant than they really are. But anyway, I was, I that is when my drinking really started. I was an alcoholic, 18, 19 years old. And in the last 2 years, I was just like drinking like crazy, to suppress the bad, to feel something, to feel happy, I guess. And I was drinking to such an extent to, I don't know, to feel happy, I guess, and to keep the bad down, right? So, at my graduation party, I mixed drinks, and, I puked everywhere, and then I passed out, and, I had to be sent home, and I woke up in a puddle of my own vomit. And, it was pretty obvious that I had a problem. I wasn't in the best state of mind, and this is what really, I realized this recently. I had a best friend in high school, and, she was the one that really had the chance to see that I was going downhill, spiraling out of control, and, drinking every chance I got. And I was depressed. I was a doomer, basically. And I just realized that she never asked, bro, what's going on with you and this drinking? You're quiet all the time. You're drinking and passing out. What's going on? She never addressed the subject at hand. And I just realized this recently. Okay, so maybe she wasn't that she wasn't a best friend. She wasn't a friend at all, because I was in a terrible state, and she just brushed it off because I guess she had her own things to do, right? So, there was no help. There was no help in my case, and maybe this is what you're going through right now, that you don't have anybody. Okay? So think of me as your Uncle Dave, right? Whatever, it doesn't really matter what has commenced your depression, whatever it may be, an argument, your folks don't understand you, you don't have friends, or if you have friends, they're not really your friends, or you hang out with them because you don't want to be alone, or you're sad because you're alone, or maybe because, I don't know, you don't have, you're not fulfilled, or I don't know, maybe you're in a relationship and it's going nowhere. Maybe you're not fulfilled by this relationship. Maybe your relationship ended and it was silly why it ended, and you're devastated, you're heartbroken, or maybe you have reached a certain age and you never really had a relationship. You never really had a sexual relationship. Maybe you're upset because you're a virgin or whatever, and you think that it's embarrassing because you're 19 years old or whatever. It doesn't matter. Everybody goes through this. A lot of people go through this. I'm here to tell you, it ain't no biggie. You're not the first one to experience this. I would tell you now that I'm older. There have been people, and there are people that are going through much more horrific stuff than you are. And I'm not saying this to minimize your pain, but it is so. What you're going through will go away eventually. It should go away eventually. You see, I think that depression, sadness is good sometimes. It can have a positive effect on you. It can improve you, right? But it shouldn't be 24/7, like 20 years continuously. That's not good for anybody, right? And this, I guess, happened to me because, like I said, I didn't have anybody. So, I just sunk my claws in depression. Like, listen, bro, when I was 16, 17, you know what I did? Like, I would listen to depressive black metal only. Like, I was every album, every band. Like, I had that shit. I had a whole collection, and I was still hungry for more because it amplified the the despair. And you can get addicted to a type of sadness. You because maybe that's the only thing you feel, right? So that's what happened to me, and because of that, because I had nobody, I was depressed for years, and it gotten to such a point that I was numb to it almost. It was just something that was there, like, a bad back pain, for example, right? It was just there, depressed, wanting to unalive myself, being suicidal. It can become like a mundane thing. That's how it was to me. Mundane. It was just something there. Who cares? Like, I didn't value my life. I had no self-respect, no self-love, no dignity, because I felt like shit. This is what depression does to you. You feel like shit. You feel like you're not worth a damn, and you think that maybe the world would be a better place if you weren't around, right? And there are a lot of people who speak on this subject, and of course they say, I'm not trying to tell people that it's better to unalive themselves, but they say that generally life sucks. Okay. And of course life has its bad moments. But I'm here to tell you that after a lot of years of depression in which I thought that life was pure torture and I was suicidal all the way, I'm here to tell you, life has its good aspects. I know, shocker. Okay. Life can be a gift. Life can be a blessing. Even if it is a cliche, it is true. Okay, yeah, you gotta go to work and you have to spend a lot of time, making money to buy shit, whatever, and then you have to sleep and you waste time and, and then you get old, you get sick, blah, blah. That's the price you have to pay for being alive. It is what it is. You see, you have to be mature about certain things. Okay? Because I used to be dismissive. I used to say, whatever, leave me alone, bro. Life sucks, whatever. Boomer, right? But now that I'm older, I see the good things in life. And listen, the simple things in life are the best and they should be cherished. I always say there is elegance in simplicity. Like being a chronic insomniac for, I don't know, since I was a teen, bro, let me tell you, it's like sleep is divine. Every time I get a chance to sleep, I think of it as the most wonderful thing possible. You see these like black bags under my eyes? That is because of 15 years of chronic insomnia. Okay, because of stress, anxiety, suicidal tendencies, drinking. But now I sleep like a baby because I'm not negative all the time. Even though I'm a cynic, a pessimist, and whatever else, it's like I see the joy in things, right? That does not mean that I'm an optimist or a mindless, positive fool, right? I see all this shit, but I have my positive, things that I enjoy. And listen, this world, folks, is here to break us. This world loves nothing more than to make people feel miserable. This is why, they call it a simulation or a construct, a prison planet, whatever. This is its function, to break people and to make them feel like they are miserable and pathetic. This is what this world loves so much. And I have to say that this world almost broke me. Okay? But now it has no power over me because I'm not down all the time. I see the joy in the little things. Every chance you get to sit in bed all day, you are blessed. You should count your blessings because it could have been worse. Like, people don't understand how privileged they are. Like, do you understand that, I'm not trying to minimize your pain? But listen, do you understand that some people are born, disfigured? People are born blind or they lose their eyes. People are born with congenital diseases that are horrific. People are born without arms or legs, or without organs, or without a face, or they have an accident and they lose everything. And you're upset because, I don't know, because some people don't like you, or, again, I'm not trying to minimize your suffering, bro. Okay. This is for all the young people that don't have anybody to talk to. I wish somebody had told me this when I was your age. I wasted so much of my precious time on being this golem, this ghoul, and I had turned my pain and suffering into this fanaticism. I was like, don't you know that I am the most depressed person? Nobody understands pain like I do. I was delusional. I thought that there was nobody that knew depression like I do. That I thought that nobody could grasp the level of depression that I could. I thought I was special in this regard, right? because I was young and dumb. Okay? So, what I'm trying to say is count your blessings. Depression, it is what it is. And I get it sometimes, but it has no real power over me. You have to understand, sometimes you'll feel sad, sometimes you'll not be sad. Sometimes it will last longer, sometimes it will not, right? You know, I have bouts when I'm, you know, I'm not so bubbly for, I don't know, days, weeks, doesn't matter. Doesn't really affect me, right? I'm not enslaved to depression. I don't think about, unaliving myself at all. It is what it is. Life is what it is. Enjoy all of the beautiful things that you have in life, because everybody has something in their lives, right? Whatever it is, music, whatever. If you have a partner in your life, I mean, you are already a god. Like, why are you taking it for granted, bro? Like, so what, you don't earn enough money, or your place is not the best, or your car, is second rate. Who gives a fuck? Enjoy your life. Stop being so pathetic all the time. And this is what I wanted to tell my younger self, because my younger self was this, brooding, mopey bitch. That's the only way I could describe my younger self. And every time I think about my younger self, I just feel embarrassed, and I want to beat that kid up, because that kid had all the potential in the world to have a marvelous life, and he kicked it in the dirt, because that kid just wanted to be sad, to feel sad all the time. And now I realized that I wanted to earn people's attention, and I wanted people to feel sad for me, that I was so sad. That's what I wanted. I wanted people to acknowledge that I was, really sad or whatever. Weird, right? Not anymore. You gotta snap out of it. I know it sounds superficial, but you have to. You have to. You can't spend the remainder of your life in eternal misery. That's just not healthy. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's not worth it. I would know. I spent the prime of my youth, my best years, on being miserable. On being miserable. It was my religion. Okay? It was my religion. I was a zealot, a fanatic. And nothing happened. Nothing improved. Nobody saved me. Nobody cared. This is the most important. Nobody cared. I had to pull myself up, or I would not be here right now. Because I found certain things that made me passionate, that woke me up. You see, this sounds a bit sanctimonious. I have to tell you this, that you have to mature a bit. You have to grow up, right? If I met my younger self right now, I would tell that asshole, that dumbass, to grow the fuck up. Okay? That's what I would tell my younger self. To grow the fuck up and find something that you enjoy. Right? And I was also upset because, I had a crush, and that crush didn't care about me in that way, and I was just so depressed because I was such a nice guy, etc., etc. Maybe you're in this position. Maybe the one that you love the most doesn't notice, doesn't care, has rejected your feelings, whatever. And I thought that this person was the only one, and that she was meant for me. Okay? And you cannot be so hung up on a single person. People come and go. Some of us never had anybody in our lives. Okay? You cannot be so hung up on somebody that rejects you. I know that you're infatuated with that person, but maybe that person does not deserve you. If that person doesn't feel the same way, if that person rejected your feelings, move on. It's whatever. It's not the end of the world. I know it seems that it is the end of the world. I know that you think that you're a failure because you failed an exam or whatever, or you didn't get into college. You don't have a degree. You don't have a nice job. I went through that. I thought that was the end of all things. I thought that my life was done for and that I should just jump off a bridge because it's over. Like dumb thinking by a stupid kid, okay? Okay, it's not over. Doesn't matter. Your life will improve. Okay? Your life will improve, bro. You only have to take a few steps, right? You don't have to be assertive. You don't have to be a giga chad. You don't have to, earn 6 figures. You don't have to have a penthouse. And you certainly don't have to sleep with tons of people to feel like you have accomplished something or to feel that you are worthy of something, okay? These are all illusions. Find something that you are passionate about. I found books, I found writing, etc. I don't care about a lot of things, but the things that I do care about are priceless to me. They are irreplaceable, irresistible. Okay? This is the type of talk that I wish I had when I was 15 years old. I wish somebody had noticed. I wished that somebody had just taken me to the side and told me what's what. You see, I would say that this is some sort of initiation or rite of passage, okay, that young people need to be told certain things by the older people that they respect, that they admire, okay? And, of course, most people today, they don't have these people in their lives, like I did. I didn't have anybody, okay? So, today, in this day and age, it is up to each and every one of us to save ourselves. You have to save yourself. Nobody else will. In today's age, unfortunately, young people are on their own. We're all on our own. Society doesn't care. Adults don't care. Government doesn't care. Politics don't care. Community doesn't care. All of these things do not care about young people. Young people today are on their own, and it's sad. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. When I was young, there were still, some of the classic traditions and customs that were there to help young people, get along in life and grow the fuck up, right? Like, I think this is a very important aspect, that young people today feel discarded. Young people today feel like they don't matter. Young people feel today like they are irrelevant, insignificant, that they have been cast aside by society, by their family, by their friends, by their neighbors, by the institutions, right? Young people today feel like outsiders. They feel abandoned. They are not treated with any type of respect whatsoever. And I think it shows. And then people wonder why so many young people, are depressed and suicidal. I wonder why. There is no love and no appreciation and no acknowledgement. No acknowledgement. This is a young person has to feel like they have value in a family, in a group, in society. For them to be healthy, in their mindset. Right? If from day one a young person feels like they are the third wheel, in any situation, in any affair, what do you think is going to happen mentally to that person, right? Every time you get treated like you are, I don't know, an eyesore or a bother, right? Like this is what happens. Like, kids, when they see this type of treatment, they think, well, I guess I'm not worthy. I don't deserve anything. I have no value. So I better check out of this life. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Because I had the chance, there was a possibility that I would not be here today if I didn't snap out of my trance. I know that I wouldn't be here. For real. Like, I would be gonzo. Okay? And a lot of people, they don't have this revelation that it's nice to have other people's love and appreciation. Of course, it's a extremely important thing. On the list, number 1 or number 2, but even more, I think that young people should be taught that they matter, that their lives matter. Even though you might not accomplish anything, that your life matters. Even if you just waste it, okay? Even if you waste your life, you should do it with passion. Like, listen, I always say, the sign of an intelligent, enlightened person is the person that sits in bed all day and does nothing. That person is enlightened. That person is intelligent beyond any reckoning, right? Because society is a joke. Okay, society is a bad joke. People that involve themselves in society today, they have blinders on and they have no brain whatsoever. Okay? Depression is here. It will never go away. It should not control your life. It should not be your master. You should not be enslaved to it. I'm a prime example of this. I used to be a slave to it. And listen, bro, even when I had happy moments, even when I was upbeat, I was like, this is not normal. Something's odd here. I should feel bad. I should want to cut myself or whatever. That's not normal, right? Do you understand? Even when I had good moments, as brief as they were, I was like, well, maybe I should listen to some black metal, depressive black metal, because I chased sadness. I chased emptiness. I wanted to be miserable. And anything that was happy and optimistic, I was like, that shit is not for me. This is what depression does to people, folks. This is what depression does to people. It makes people reject whatever happiness is at their fingertips. On me. This is what happens. I did that. Even when I had every prospect in front of me, I didn't see it. Only years later did I realize I had potential. I had prospects. I had chances, advantages, benefits. I had everything at my fingertips. And I still thought that I was lost, that I was done for, that I was a failure, and I didn't deserve anything. I thought that my life was over, and I rejected everything that could have improved my situation because I didn't see anything, only the darkness. Only the darkness. Okay? it's tough. It's tough being a young person today. Okay. And today, and I'm talking about the young men today. If you're a female, good on you. But I'm talking about the young men. They feel that if they haven't slept with somebody before a certain age, they feel like they have basically failed life. Failed life. They think that if they haven't been in a relationship, they have failed. And they make such a big deal out of it. They blow it out of proportion. They exaggerate, and they become depressed because of it. They think that there's something wrong with them. Okay? And it's not that, that's serious, folks. Okay? It's not that serious. Listen, when you're young, and I used to be like this when I was young, I tried so desperately to fit in and to belong, and I just wanted to, I was basically a simp because I wanted people to love me, so I would do anything for them. And, I was trying with this girl, and it didn't work, and she was seeing other people, and I was like, what the fuck? Right? And then afterwards, it just didn't happen with other people, and I was just like, well, there's something wrong with me. I have to be wrong in some way. And because I'm not succeeding, then that means that I am a waste of space. And this can be applied to any type of situation, not just relationships, right? Don't take it so seriously. All you young people out there, don't be like me, because I've wasted a lot of years just being miserable because I didn't know any better and nobody told me anything. Okay, so hopefully this video will help somebody. Why not? It's no use. Like I say, the biggest tragedy of all is to just, be sad all the time. Depressed, because I know what that is like, and it's not a fun ride. It's not a joy ride. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it. In the long run, it's not worth it. Okay? It is what it is. You have to save yourself. Nobody else will. You're on your own, and that should be empowering. Empowering and enriching. Because just like I have, you also have the power, the essence to rise up and do something that is amazing to you. Okay? So hopefully this video will help somebody. And there's nothing worse. The biggest tragedy of all is for a young person in the prime of his or her youth to be just this miserable wretch and to squander, your youth and your health and your time and your energy on sadness. Always sad. That's just, to me, that's one of the biggest tragedies of all. Okay? So anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to support your boy, I got a few books on Amazon that talk about this topic that we've discussed today. Okay? So if you want to support your boy, the link will be down below. Thanks for watching. And improve your perspective. That's what I would say, because I used to have only one perspective, stubborn, one-sided, with a bias. I only saw the dark things of life, but there is also light, right? And that's about it, Thanks for watching. See ya.